anyone, once they're informed, is in violation of state law, regardless of opinion, as to the sunshine laws. Take that for the warning that you want and move forward.
So contacting you by person on the phone doesn't count?
One-on-one, we can speak.
So if somebody called you...
As soon as we have 3, that's a majority, and we can no longer speak.
Let me finish.
Why was it finished?
So if somebody calls you and told you that you were breaking the law, and you just ignored them and kept on doing it, that's no problem, right?
Who is this person, and who were they representing?
Somebody on the board called you and told you you were breaking the bylaws.
So another member called.
A
told me I was
board
breaking.
member. Yes, a board member.
I would say that it would be an individual member call. There was never a vote by the board to act towards any member in any fashion. It was simply one member to another.
So let me ask you. Say we drive in here and we see somebody's obviously doing something on their property illegal.
Correct.
What are you going to do?
Are you saying illegal or against the bylaws?
Against the bylaws.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I would call for a meeting.
You would call for a meeting. So once we have a group gather up...
We cannot act outside of that.
So you're going to call for a meeting, so then it's all done and over with by the time the meeting's over.
If that's
by
what
the
happens,
time the
that's what
meeting's
happens.
even held. I don't think so. Somebody's breaking the bylaws, you stop them.
What do you think is allowed?
I think you go tell them to stop, and they should stop and deal with the ACC.
I believe that there is nothing stopping a member from asking another member, or even an individual board member from asking another member to stop. However, it has no legal bearing.
I'm not saying legal. What somebody might be doing might not be illegal, but if it's against the rules, then it's a civil.
Do you have an
civil
instance
action,
that you're
isn't it?
referring to?
You,
I'm asking you because those emails don't exist legally, and so the board,
So
the rest of the
what
members
you're-
are unaware of everything you guys have
so
talked
what
about.
you're telling me is you still have 100% of the trees on all your lots, correct?
No. I acted as an individual,
do
but
you
the
still
board
have
has not acted.
more than the 65% or the 65% of
Let's-
the cuttable trees on your lot?
Let's clarify what's cuttable. Okay? I can either pull out the, well, I'll do both actually. By the way, this will be the last outdoor meeting. We cannot call meetings in advance due to weather outdoors. There's no internet for people to use if they have anything that they need to show. So this is not a proper place for a meeting.
There's not a restroom.
Little restrooms, etc. Here is a breakdown, sentence by sentence, of Article 17. Feel free to match it up, word for word, against the documents. I contend it's the same.
Will you tell us when we can start asking you questions?
Right now we're in discussion mode, so feel free to speak. What questions do you have?
Let's start with number 1.
No commercial cutting of timber shall be permitted on the parcel. I am not a commercial entity cutting for commercial purposes. I am an individual member who is opening up pastures. Do you have any other questions?
Obviously, there's no way to get into your brain because what you did was commercially cut your property. Did you
No.
get paid to make it? Did you get paid to cut that crap?
I received funds
Oh,
when
so
clearing.
that's commercial cutting.
No,
is it
it's not.
Yes, it
It's
is.
already been defined otherwise, but okay.
Wrong.
Who's defining all this for you? Are you defining it yourself?
No, it's actually defined by the forestry preserve. As is where you can measure as far as base cuts. It has to be 1 foot above the ground. It's considered the base measurement. And so I have investigated exactly what is and isn't allowed, as is my job.
So what it says in the bylaws is
That's to prevent people from coming in and replanting like they used to plant here and cut and plant and cut and plant. It does not to prevent an equestrian subdivision from having pastures.
I don't have a real problem with somebody taking trees off their property and making the money that you're going to get for it. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Out of curiosity, you cleared trees off of your property, correct?
We did for a home
Most
site.
of
Were you paid for those trees?
Sure.
Okay.
That's
Just
never
for,
been
for
a
the
question.
record,
I don't-
was that a
that's never-
commercial
That's never been a
entity?
question.
No,
We're
you
not
just
having-
brought it up as
No,
one.
I was just asking you what you did. What
And
is
I told you,
commercial
and you
cutting?
indicated that it was somehow wrong.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Well, I propose a motion funds for the timber of your land when clearing it for home sites, pastures, etc., that is allowable by the ACC, is that considered commercial cutting, or may the homeowners receive funds? Those who consider it commercial cutting say aye. Those who consider it to be homeowner allowed income.
I'm not voting on that as it's stated.
How would you like it stated? Feel free to state the motion
Okay,
again.
I will. If the homeowner is clearing their lot to build, I believe they have the right to sell that timber rather than sit it on their property and burn it.
Or pay somebody to come in and cut it. and haul it off.
Absolutely. Or if they come in there and they fence it all off and they make it into a pasture, and they go in there and they make it where you've got grass growing on it, so you've got a pasture, I got no problem with
So
that.
we're contending that if you are legally, by law and by law, cutting trees on your property, that you can receive funds for those trees, correct?
If you're developing a home site.
Well, if it's legal by the bylaws to cut, correct? Or only for a home site, is that a new rule that you're setting?
No, Victoria,
we
it's
need to
not a
vote
new
on
rule.
that.
Well, I'm just
I don't have a problem
clarifying,
with
I'm
a pasture.
clarifying, because that's not part of our bylaws, and so,
So long as you're not cutting more than what it says in the bylaws you can cut, I don't have a problem. If
does
you make
anyone
it
have a
into,
problem with that?
you make it into pasture, which means
Okay,
you
so
clear
that
all the
wouldn't be
land.
commercial cutting for purposes of homeowners, when they come to us as a board and they say, I am opening
Well,
up my
I got a
pasture
question
or
there.
building,
Does everybody have to come to the board, to the ACC to have this done?
I believe that's
Because some
covered,
people don't.
I believe that's covered. in
They're
here.
supposed to come to the board.
Who is and isn't, yes.
Well, I don't remember you coming to anybody and saying, I'm fixing to cut all the trees off my property. Did you?
Well, let's
did
go
I
on to
miss,
number-
did I miss that meeting somewhere?
Let's go through each of these and we'll see if it pertains, okay? Number 2, however, the clearing of home sites or pastures is permitted provided no more than 35% of trees that measure 8 inches or greater in diameter at the base of the trunk of the tree on any parcel may be cleared without the prior approval of the Architectural Control Committee. So, I contend, yes, I did cut without permission, as the bylaws read.
So you're thinking you didn't cut more than 35%
Let's keep going.
of the trees
We'll
off
do
your,
a vote
the
on that later.
The cuttable trees off your property.
We'll do a vote on that when we get to individual. We're going over the bylaw language right now.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3, the removal of any dead or leaning trees is not prohibited in any circumstance. Okay.
100%.
The cutting of smaller trees, brush hogging, is permitted and will not be considered part of the 35% allowed clearing, so long as the trees that are cut are less than 8 inches in diameter at the base of the trunk of the tree. Okay, so would it be fair to say that brush hogging, cutting under 8-inch trees are permitted?
Well, first of all, it's called bush hogging, but I'm not
Okay,
going to
bush
give you a hard
hogging.
time about that. But I don't have a problem with anybody bush hogging their properties.
No, anything
No.
that's less than that, I have no problem.
Okay.
First of all, a bush hog will not cut a 7.5-inch tree. So there's a little bit of an issue there.
Okay, but it does say that not just bush hogging. It says cutting of smaller trees and bush
Slash
hogging.
bush hogging.
Right, either one, cutting or bush hogging. So if your bush hog can't cut 7-inch, then feel free to cut it.
As long as you're leaving 65% of the 8-inch trees or bigger that are cuttable.
Number 5, existing open lands or pasture will not be considered part of the 35% allowed clearing. That is exempted from the 35%.
If it's
But we
existing.
have no existing open land or pasture.
I disagree, and let me put forward exhibits to show otherwise.
Yeah, it should be in the back seat.
Hopefully I get a signal.